snow line is a bit slower. Like you see the months of the year. So if you want to hike, this is for Himachal, right? Not for Nepal, which is lower, not for Pakistan, which is higher. We talk about Himachal, whatever latitude it is. Say I want to hike somewhere, say in June. In June, where you can go is you can go till around 4,000 meters. The pass is starting to go open. The snow line retreats, right? It starts melting. 5,000 meter pass, you almost have to wait till say mid-July here, till mid-September. You can also see that on the survey maps these months when it opens and when it closes, based on the altitude and based on where in the Himalayas the pass is located. Want to go in March? Yeah, please stay somewhere around 2,500 or 3,000. Want to go in May? Okay, somewhere 3,500. Want to go in November? Okay, be careful because you're already gonna hit snow at 3,500 again. So this is actually how you plan. When you do a hike in the future, I'm gonna ask which month of the year are you planning? Yeah. And don't copy paste what your social media friend did. So he went Indrahal. I also want to do that. But he did it in a certain month. You should also do it within that window. When, say for example, 4,000 meter opens in June, zoom, and snow comes down again somewhere in October. So don't do that in that window. Don't randomly choose, like you choose a hiking route in the Western Ghats, KP, we can do it anytime. Here, it's very seasonal, any pass. Next.
Where do we get this data?
This is field data. This is where I hit the snow. I just made a line. But the same lines you can also derive from like survey maps. You'll see for this pass, October to November, this pass, July to September. It'll be similar. And you can also look at recent satellite data. That'll show you recent snow cover because it can change a little bit year to year. Alright, kick another one, speed, wind. Wind I never faced much of an issue. Of course I've been in blizzards and sometimes in the Himalayas, but very less usually. I don't know, maybe I was lucky. Like here however, when I was cycling on the EV8, we came to Barcelona and there we got hit by some significant winds. Well then we come to these three lower columns, people. We have the average wind in the 3-hour window, we have the gusts, which is the ones that will pull your tent off. And you have the direction. Direction is also interesting. So in Barcelona, we're wild camping on a hillock in the city. Look at which slope are we camping? Northwest. Oops, look, Peter, what's happening? You're getting strong pink. Pink means it's severe wind gusts. And the wind is coming from the west, right? So this hill is basically hit from the west, and my tent almost got torn apart. So here I would say, based on my experience, anything above 30 wind gusts, be careful. Especially with non-self-standing tents. The self-standing, the dome tents are stronger, but the ones with the pyramids, which are nice of course, they are lightweight, those are more sensitive to wind. So if you're getting wind gust predictions of 30 and above, make sure to stake it very nicely and pitch it very nicely.
Gust means amplifier wind?
Gusts means maximum. Slowly I see the sun setting, taking some pictures for Huzafa's tent. Freaking cold at night, it goes negative, right? Now it's positive, it goes negative, it's frozen.
What did you do here for water then if there's no water?
Well, I would have hydrated myself. I usually don't drink much, I can survive quite long. I'm a bit of a camel. Like if you're looking at the foothills, beautiful actually. This is the between the Indus flows on this side, and here we have the Brahmaputra on the other side, which flows through Arunachal and goes there. So anything between the Brahmaputra and the Indus you could call the Himalayas, which spreads the western Himalayas, Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan and Arunachal. But it goes on, right? That's just geopolitical. It goes to Myanmar, and here then we come in the Ladakh is already Karakoram, North Pakistan. Then a little bit lower we have the Hindu Kush, which spreads over Afghanistan and Pakistan. Serious trouble here right now, right, between the Afghanistani Taliban, which seems to be keeping Pakistan busy. And then we come into the Pamirs. The Pamirs is Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan. And then it turns to that side and then it becomes the Tian Shan. You saw some red hiking routes here. That was the Tian Shan, like a beautiful U-shaped ridgeline. This is a bit lower altitude, but more to the north, so much colder and more snow cover possibilities.
This is not the right map for India though.
Yeah, could be. This is like
POK and Aksachin are missing.
could be.
This is a
Right.
different
So anyway,
map from
quickly move on away. Major rivers already, right? The guys who flow to the west, the Indus, the Jhelum. Jhelum is Kashmir. The Chenab. Chenab is just running on the other side here. Ravi River, the Chamba Valley, the Satluj. They all join, going to the Thar Desert of Punjab and Pakistan. And then we have the Ganges, the Yamuna. Ganges is like several things like Bhagirathi and Nandakini and Alagnanda. Well, these guys then flow towards the left, the right side, join with the Brahmaputra into the Ganges plains and drain into the Bay of Bengal. And here, you can see the Himalayas, even though you might be tempted to call them the whole range, is just between Indus and Brahmaputra. Above there is Karakoram. You can clearly see the Karakoram here. You see the Hindu Kush, and then the Pamirs. And we can also see like the Dholagiri is like the first kind of the lower altitude range, I think, there. And then we will see the Nara hills here, all these.
Like the Garo Khasi Jayantiya mountain range is also like inside lower Himalaya.
You'll have Pangong Tsui. We'll come to that in detail, but you can see that the Shiok actually comes massively from China, Tibet, before it even enters. This is the border, by the way. This is all Tibet. This is all Pakistan there. This is not my border, but I'm just telling Shiok is massive, right? Look at overall. Shiok is massive. Then if we come towards the Indus Valley here, Indus again comes large parts, drains a large area of Tibet into it, enters India here in eastern Ladakh, and then you come to Leh Ladakh here. So and here again, Indus has a massive complex system of contributing rivers like Zanskar, Sarab, Marka Valley and all. Both these guys go to Pakistan and then they join there in the foothills of the Karakoram, I guess. So then we have of course Kashmir. Kashmir is a bit complicated. Look, your border between Pakistan and India would logically be on a ridge line. All these white borders are basins, so that means ridge lines, remember? So this would be a very natural border to have with Pakistan, but unfortunately the border is somewhere inside the basin, so not very defendable. So this is the Jhelum basin. Jhelum will flow into Pakistan, join the Neelum and then come down. Chenab is another beauty. Chenab is a huge one, right? Starting at Chandratal, flowing through Lahore, Bangi, and then into Jammu and exiting somewhere near Riyasi, Temple Town. Voila, here we have the Ravi River between the Tir Panjal and the Dolador. This is the Chamba Valley, the Ravi River. And then of course, home sweet home, Manali here, the Bias River, straight south, and then it flows again towards this. All these guys flow towards the west, join the Indus eventually. And then if we come towards Kinnaur, we have the Satluj. Satluj again comes from a large, massive, comes from massively in Tibet before it enters Kinnaur in Himachal, joined by the Spiti Basin. This is like a small bump here. This is Spiti. Spiti is a tributary of the Satluj River. Even that thing flows to the west, and then all the rest will flow to the east, starting from the Jamuna, the Bhagirathi, the Alagnanda, and the Sharda. The border of Nepal and Uttarakhand or India is actually the river itself, the Sharda River. So these are the 12 major basins which drain snow and glacial melt from a lot of high ranges here. We'll have a look one by one with some nice pictures, not these boring maps. Stepping back, if you look at Google Earth map here, you can see this big line. Remember, this is the one where the monsoon hits, transform this in lush green foothills, and this gets becomes an alpine desert because little precipitation gets across this 6,000 meter wall here between Ladakh and Himachal and JNK. Next, ooh la la, let's take a look at Shiok first. I hope this will be interesting because this can become very technical after by the time I finish. For me it's nice because I've been to most places here in all the basins. If you haven't been there, it's maybe a little boring.
No, I haven't.
Voila, you know, Siachen, right?
Yes.
The highest battlefield. From there we have one tentacle, the Nubra River, flowing and joining the Shiok. The Shiok actually also flows and drains the Karakoram. First you have to look at the high ranges. Shiok Basin is bound between Karakoram and the Ladakh range. Ladakh is the boundary between Shiok and Indus Valley. Right, so it drains this. Shiok drains on this side and then it takes a sharp turn, joins the Nubra here. This is Hundar,
Yeah.
Biskit, and then
Wild camels.
yeah, and then here you have the boundary, I think, where you can take pictures and see the other side.
Tuk-tuk.
Right? Tuk-tuk, yeah. Voila. And then also here you have another big one, Changsemdo. And remember, right, this is only half of the Shiok. Shiok comes 50% from Tibet. And one major tributary is also the Tangse, which drains Pangong Tso. 1/3 here, 2/3 in China. So very weird boundary here. I think this is like a battlefield that was frozen somewhere, because otherwise at least some kind of ridge line should have been taken here as a more natural boundary. And so Leh Ladakh will be here and here somewhere, right? And this is the Kardungla where you jump into the Nubra or the Shiok River Valley. Next.
Shiok meets Indus.
Shiok will meet the Indus, yeah. So the Indus flows here in parallel at it drains the south of Ladakh range, and somewhere in the Karakoram it will join the Shiok. So let's take a look at a couple of visuals, otherwise you'll get bored. On the top of the basin. But you have a complicated like drainage system here. So this is actually Zanskar. You got Padum here. So Padum is actually where the Zanskar, Zanskar is a tributary, right? It joins the Indus. And it forms through the Stop Dada and the Tsarap. I think the Tsarap is one of the most beautiful rivers and most interior. Look, the Tsarap river comes all the way from here, actually somewhere Sarchu. Passes by Sarchu where it Yunnan joins and the Lingtichu joins. So here, this is a beautiful map. You see all the major rivers here. You have the Marka, very touristic value. You have Stokkangri is here on the Stok range. Remember, this is here you can do the 140 kilometer loop, the Stok range, and here you can also do this is the Spangtang range, this ridge line. Here again you can do a 100 kilometer loop over 5 passes around this range. Marka has become a road now, and Zanskar also has become a road, right? The Chardar trek is no more, I guess, because it's a road now. So here you have the Kargyakchu. Kargyakchu is the Shingonla. 4 hours ride from Manali is now a 2-lane highway into Zanskar. Where previously you had to come via the Suru Valley, via Kargil, into what is here? The Pensila, where you see the Noon and the Kun.
Drangdung Glacier.
Yeah, the Drangdung Glacier, accessible by car, right? You go over the Penzila, Stodala, voila. This was your only way into Zanskar. Now, very soon they're gonna put a tunnel here, right? They're gonna put the Singonla tunnel. Now it's a 5,050 meter pass. After Atal, one more tunnel, and the army has full weather access to Ladakh, full season access, full year access. Voila, this is amazing. Here you should do some hiking. If you look at the waymarked hiking, you see a lot of beautiful interior to Zanskarian blue lines. You can, for example, walk from Sarchu along the Sarapchu all the way to to Puchtalgompa here. Puchtalgompa, remember, the monastery is here. So let's take a look at a couple of pictures. And remember, right, this is Indus, but 50% of Indus is in Tibet. So there's already a lot of water flow coming in at the border. And is Mr. Zena building some dams there or so? Maybe to put some
In Brahmaputra, they are making.
Brahmaputra, okay. Next slide. Kunzumla,
Yes. Yeah.
right? As that's the only road pass, or you came via Kinor and the Shatlet River
Nako
Valley.
actually.
Via Nako,
To
Dabo.
Ragompio, Nako.
Yeah, Rokompeo is all there. So this is Spiti. Spiti is a little tentacle here. It's stuck between Ladakh is there, Tibet is there. We have a massive tributary here, which is bigger than Spiti, called the Parachu. Parachu actually goes from India into Tibet and again joins here somewhere just after Nako.
The
with
biggest
Spiti.
flood in 2000, 6,500 cumecs, all due to this. There was a lake in Parachu.
Okay, lake burst.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, could be. It's a huge river. You can see the drainage area of this guy would be bigger probably than the Spiti. Hiking access, pretty cool. This is by the way Somoriri here. This uniform color means flat altitude. Somoriri actually is drained by Parachu, but it's very difficult. This is QGIS was not able to spot it because it's almost flat here. So we can enter via the Parangla from Ladakh. We can enter via, of course, the Kunzumla road pass. We can enter via the Pin Parvati pass, and we can enter via the Pin Baba pass. Via Mud Village. This is the Pin River, tributary of Spiti. Spiti again will eventually join the Satluj River, which also comes from Tibet here. So let's take a look at Spiti.
This is Kham.
Khat, where it joins the. Yeah. Let's take a look at some nice pictures because this is little yucky maps. We don't like maps. So the Valley of Kashmir is bound between two high ranges. The Great Himalayan Range on this side, which separates Pakistan and Ladakh. And we have another Pir Panjal here, not to be confused with our Pir Panjal in Himachal. This is a separate 4,000 meter wall. There are two Pir Panjals, one in Kashmir and one in Chambala Hall. So lots and lots of lakes here as well as there. If you look at
Probably twins. They didn't know what to name. I mean,
There are
there's
no
a Srinagar
connection, those
here, and there's a
PR
Srinagar
people.
Mathura
no
kind of
connectivity,
name,
no physical connectivity,
different
just
geographical
coincidence.
features in different states, the same name.
This is the best information I got.
Yeah, so the Jhelum drains this beautiful valley. These guys are also not too affected by the monsoon because the monsoon gets hit by this 4,000 meter wall, so that protects them. As far as my local friends say, they don't have heavy monsoon here. So the Jhelum has a couple of major tributaries, and these guys drain the Great Himalayan Range here. The Lidr,
The Aru Valley, Pahalgam.
Pahalgam, correct. This is where the attack happened here last year. Then we have the Sindh River, which is basically Sonamarg. If you want to go to Kashmir, Kargil, this will be the Zuzila.
Zuzila Pass.
And then you have the Bandipora, this is all a bit restricted. So here, by the way, this Sindh here, this will be your Great Lakes of Kashmir hike. And then the Poru, and then the Jhelum flows into Pakistan, joined by the Nilum. And that again becomes the Jhelum, which will eventually join the Indus coming from the west. The Punch is also there, like a side tributary, draining the Pir Panjal. Alright.
When Varman is there actually somewhere on the.
Yeah, Warwan will be a little bit further, I think.
Yeah.
That falls in a different, that will fall in the Chinab basin, so that's a different wall here. This wall has another access. This is Sintan Top, which connects Kishtwar with Chinab River Valley with Jhelum, Sintan Top.
What is the end of Pir
One
Panjal?
starts
This
from
Pir Panjal?
Kishtwar and goes into
Pir
the
Panjal, yeah, it's here. So here we're getting into the Chenab River basin here. So this is the end. It'll stop here, and your other Pir Panjal will come much more to the east. So let's take a look. All these maps, or these are like very high level summary, just a few tentacles. I've super today in order not to get overloaded. I usually see people dropping down in attention when I show too many maps.
Chenab Basin.
Look at the Chenab River. Chenab flows after the. So let's take a closer look, right?
Oh, there's one.
Chenab is actually interesting in the sense it's the confluence of the Baga. Baga flows down from the Baralachala. I'm not sure if it's open. And actually very close to that, it flows south the Baga. A little bit to the right you have the Chandra that originates also very nearby Chandra, Baralachala, Chandra. Here you will have Chandra Tal, takes a turn. Here you have the Kunzumla to the Spiti Basin. And then you have the Chandra and they join at Tandi. Chandra and Baga become the Chandra Baga, flow through Lahore, through Pangi Valley and enter. They come to Kishtwar and enter Jammu here. And kijk, the Warwan
Yeah.
Valley is not in Kashmir, that's in Jammu, and it's a tributary of the Chenab, joining somewhere near Kishtwar. Major valleys, again, you have the Jankar here, the Jankar Nala, a tributary from where the Shingola goes into Zanskar and the Indus Basin. You have the Mayer Valley. Mayer Valley flows here near Udaipur. This is the Kangla Pass. So Chenab is basically squeezed between the Pir Panjal and the Great Himalayan range, very narrow. You can see blue, it's pretty low altitude, but it's surrounded by 5,000 meter ranges. So we have the Mayar, we have the Sechu Valley. Sechu is Pangi basically here, Pangi. Here we'll have the Saj Pass and Killer, Saj Pass Killer. And then you have the Butnal. Butnal is like a major tributary of the Chenab. So the Butnal gives access to the Munila, the Haksula, the Potla, and some other La. So here you have like three passes that connect Zanskar with villages. You can see villages walking across from Zanskar to Jammu. This is already Jammu here. Okay, and then we have the Chenab. The Chenab goes forever, right? It goes on and goes on through Doda and all that stuff. Look, here we see Doda, I guess, and then you have the Tawi River here also and the Ans River, more tributary. So these Chenab eventually exit somewhere near Riasi. Riasi's famous temple. Voilà.
And Greater Himalayas goes to in the down up to Nepal.
The Great Himalayan range keeps going. It connects to Uttarakhand eventually. We'll see this coming later when we talk about the Satluj River Basin. So this separates the whole of Ladakh and Spiti and Lahore. Anyways, Lahore is here, right? Lahore is a bit this side, I guess. Here, Chamba is here, but Chamba, this is also a
Part of
chunk of
Chamba.
Chada. Yeah? This is Pangi Valley, which is actually a sub-district of Chamba, which is very weird. It doesn't make sense from a geographic point of view because this is the Saj Pass. And you only have two passes, right? You have the Saj Pass here, and you have the Rotang Pass somewhere here, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Chandra, Baga, yeah. So here somewhere the Rotang Pass and the Atal Tunnel. So only two road passes actually into this basin. Unless you go via the Jammu side.
Yes.
Voilà, let's take a look at some interesting places. Voilà, ooh, the Chenab. Right, the Ravi is squeezed between the Pir Panjal. The Pir Panjal separates Lahore and Pangi and Jammu. And then the Dolador on the south, which separates the Kangra plains. Dharamsala, Bajinath, Palampur, Bir Billing, and then finally voilà, Manali is here. We're just sitting next. The wall that you saw would have been a little wall here. So that will eventually lead to Barabangal. So the Ravi River drains the Pir Panjal on the north. On the east and the south, the Dolador. This is all called the Dolador. 20 passes on all these ranges where the shepherds come from the plains In June they come over the Dolador, get into Chamba, graze the meadows. In July they cross the Pir Panjal, graze meadows here. September they come back in Chamba, and then by October they have to get back again before the snow closes again. Voila, we have the Ravi River flowing from Barabagal, and we have the Budil Nal flowing from Kuchti. These are the last two villages in Chamba, completely surrounded by high ranges. This was the, remember the Kalihini Nala, the Sahur Jots, which we mapped. Here you have the Tamsar Nala to the Tamsar. Here you have the Kuchti Pass. People from Lahore use the Kuchti Pass. You saw that shepherd and that nice saddle in some of my photos as the Kuchti Pass. This side tentacle of the Pir Panjal, this is Mani Mahesh Kailash, accessible via Kuchti, Damgodi, Subdali and Jalsu Pass. People come from Bir Billing via the Jalsu Pass and then hop into Mani Mahesh by the last week of August, I think. This is Barmor. Barmor is the typical entry point for most of the pilgrims. Like 1 or 2 legs of pilgrims come here in 1 or 2 weeks. Tunda, beautiful here, the Tunda Wildlife Sanctuary. Tunda Nala, Kalicho Pass, Chobia Pass, all crossing over. Here you have the Darati Pass. No. Here
Rati Pass somewhere towards Chanju, I suppose.
Oh, here you have another pass, something. Well, and then Baira River is a big side river of Ravi River, flowing down from the, what is the pass again? With the shepherds?
Saj Pass?
Yeah, the Saj Pass, right? This gives you access. So either it's Rotang Pass here in the Bias Basin or it's the Saj Pass. These are only 2 road passes, but you have some 10 shepherd passes that go over the Pir Panjal, Kalicho, Darati, Marku, Cheni Pass here. Before the Saj Pass was a frequented route, there was another pass here, the Cheni Pass, yeah, which was frequented. Beautiful, beautiful pass. And then of course you have here the Siul River and the Sewa River, which drain the border, the Pir Panjal, separating Jammu. Here you will have, what is it again? I forgot the name, a beautiful town.
Temple Town?
Yeah.
Seva.
Riasi?
No, just over the border with Himachal. I forgot the name.
Udaipur.
No. Bhadrava?
Badarwa. So here actually, if you follow Siul, I think, beautiful. I've hiked on these ridges also, very beautiful. You can go around here. You come into Badarwa, full of meadows, full of bakar walls, grazing. This corner of Jammu I've explored, like very remote and nobody goes there.
Padri Pass.
Yeah, Padri goes to Badarwa, correct. And then you have one peak there and some pilgrimages there on top of Badarwa, I forgot the name. So that's Ravi. Ravi will flow, join the Bias which comes here. So let's take a look at Chamba. Very few people go to Chamba because it's all the way around the Dolador. You have to go via Dalhousie or via, there's Chamba here. There is a Chamba Jot, a 2000 meter pass, also road pass. Most Delhi buses go to Dalhousie and then you're only at the beginning, right? So nobody has the time to go all the way here to Kuchti or Baramangal. By the time you reach there, you have already spent 2-3 days of travel.
Doladar and dies here in Manali.
Yeah, Dolador comes all the way from here, from 2000 meters, goes up to 3,000-4,000, and then by the time it reaches here, the snow picture that you took is here. That's also part of the Dolador. Pir Panjal continues here. Pir Panjal goes to Rotang Pass and goes a little bit further.
Okay.
Dolador stops here. Next, voila, Kuchti, the meadows above Kuchti. Kuchti season, is per the temperature, is per the altitude. And so the snow could be somewhere at orange level, or at red level, or at green level as you come down, or at blue level if it's really winter, depending on the seasons. So your basin will slowly close or slowly open up. Next. Voilà. So just to draw the line completely. So snow keeps accumulating, snow. Then here, okay, it's positive now, so it will always be rain. And here again, it will start accumulating. So if you add this and this, and then you have like some 8 months of snow that accumulates from the time the pass closes till the pass opens again. For example, on the survey maps, it will show you when it's open, when it's closed. So they put it there because these passes are not just for namesakes there, they are there because the shepherds have been opening them and using them for generations, and the shepherds will follow the schedule. Can you tell me Indrahar Pass, when it's open?
Mid-July.
Check the survey map. (100, 200 meters. Every month around 500 meters up. Just if you want to visualize it a little, right? It's not a flat line, it's a contour line basically, it's an altitude. Next. Voila, same here, no? If you go back in April, more snow. In April, I don't think you're gonna make it. By the time you reach here, you'll be sinking so deep inside. In June, it's open. It's a little bit snow, but at least it's manageable. So you always look at the monthly snow line and see whether your multi-pass traverse will be possible. If not, simply reroute via lower altitude pass. Next.
What is the distance?
It's a satellite or is it a constellation, I don't know, but it's able to capture the whole planet every single day. So you always get like a satellite, a recent picture, and it's freely accessible. That's nice. It's used by multiple researchers. It's not just visuals people, but it gives you like specialized bands. So bands basically means, right, it takes different pictures like infrared, near infrared, and then it subtracts and combines these bands to create certain images. Thanks, Shah. Office is ready. Like say the near differential snow index, that's a band optimized to see the snow. So where you don't confuse snow with clouds, there's similar stuff, clouds or ice. So you can download this also then as a GOT file and load it in QGIS. That's the beauty. You can overlay your hiking routes, your passes, and see exactly right where you're gonna hit snow. So very nice. You can use it as a website if you just want a visual. You can hide the snow layer and see OSM underneath. So you can first see where is the pass, where is the trail. Then again, enable your snow shown in light blue here. It's not a glacier, it's just a satellite band. And see here how much snow you get on either side of the pass. Extremely useful.
It can overlay over OSM.
It is shown, it shows OSM as a base map, and then on top of that it shows whatever you're looking at, vegetation, water in the soil, water, urban areas. So it has different useful bands for different type of research. Alright, next. Voila, click here. Slope. Here I might have to go 400 meters down before I'm out of the snow, before I hit Barabangal here, Ravi River and Kaligeni. So very precise actually, except for a couple of days in the past, as the satellite image will only be useful if there is not too much of cloud cover. So you might have something that is 5 days old, but that is better than nothing, or something that is 2 months ago. Next, and freely accessible to anyone, so beautiful initiative. Next slide. So keep in mind the daily cycle. It melts, it gets soft in the day, midday, and it gets frozen, it gets rock hard in the night. So when you cross your pass, 8 to 11, it's still gonna be quite hard, so you might hit frozen snow. Voila. So you have this daily cycle. The sun keeps moving around with the frost line, and it will change the characteristic of snow to sinking inside, just stepping inside, comfortable, or being unable to walk on it because it's rock hard. Early morning, especially when you cross the pass, remember, you want to target the passes early morning when it's still rock hard from the previous morning. Especially if you approach the pass from the north, the north here or the west facing slope, it will have less sunlight, so it will really be very difficult for you to get over frozen snow. Next, look, this is actually Indrahar Pass. June, look, June, right? It was saying it's open from May till November. My ass. This is your situation in June, even mid-June, you're still stuck in the gullies without specialized equipment. These buggers were standing there on the first gully, and if it was not for Peter van Geit cutting through, nothing would have happened till maybe later in June. Of course, 2018, I think there was a lot of snow deposits in the previous winter, so it also depends on how much snowfall there was and has accumulated at those altitudes the previous winter, because that is the snow that has to melt. Next. Those are the ones that give you water, those are the ones where you get stuck. So whenever you plan a hike, have a look where the dot trail line goes through those inverted U's. That's where trouble is waiting for you. I think this is one of your assignments in the workbook. Next. And then snow depth, so please do not go above the knee level. It becomes extremely difficult here. This is somewhere in winter near Munsiani again. Once you start sinking into the hip, I feel it's so much of effort that you're just wasting your time. There will be